On a Wednesday morning at 10 a.m., Patricia Whitmore, a wealthy businesswoman, walked into Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom as if she owned the place. Dressed head to toe in designer clothes, carrying a luxury handbag, and constantly checking her phone, she made it immediately clear through her body language that she considered the proceeding beneath her. Within moments, she began insulting the judge, refusing to pay attention, and even tried to leave mid-hearing. But Judge Caprio, known for his calm authority, remained unshaken, ready to show that money doesn't buy respect and entitlement has consequences. Patricia had been cited for driving 25 miles per hour over the speed limit in a residential neighborhood, and the officer's notes warned that she had been argumentative, initially refused to sign the citation, and claimed she was too important to be stopped. When the hearing began, Caprio politely asked her to approach and put away her phone, but Patricia, annoyed, demanded that the process be quick because she had actual important business matters. The courtroom tensed at her dismissive tone. When asked how she pled, she muttered, "Fine, whatever. I was speeding. Can I just pay this and leave?" The judge calmly reminded her that 25 miles per hour over the limit in a neighborhood with children and families was serious. Patricia interrupted, arguing that parents should teach their children to stay off the street, and that she shouldn't have to drive 30 miles per hour because others weren't supervising properly. The courtroom reacted with audible disapproval. Caprio responded firmly that the speed limit exists to protect everyone, and that her attitude was concerning. Patricia's voice rose as she complained about being lectured by a small-town judge, calling the hearing a waste of time and taxpayer money. As her arrogance escalated, Judge Caprio warned her to show respect. She mocked the court, claiming that tickets existed to generate revenue, and her wealth exempted her from obedience. When he asked her to put down her phone and stop walking toward the door, she challenged him with open contempt, questioning why she should respect a little kingdom, and insisting she could ignore the court. Caprio's calm authority filled the room as he explained why she was a danger, not because she feared him, but because she flaunted the law, disrespected authority, and disregarded the safety of others. For the first time, Patricia's confidence wavered, and the bailiff stepped in to ensure she remained in the courtroom. Slowly, reluctantly, she sat down, phone put away, realizing her wealth offered no immunity. Judge Caprio then dissected her driving record for speeding tickets in 2 years, a blatant disregard for safety, and repeated disrespect for the court. Patricia tried to argue back, insisting she had decades of accident-free driving and that she contributed more to society than anyone else present. Caprio remained firm, raising her fine from $350 to the maximum $500, mandating a driver safety course within 30 days, and adding $200 for contempt of court, bringing her total to $850 plus court costs. Her smirk disappeared as reality set in. Her arrogance had come at a steep price. When she complained that she was being punished for being successful, Caprio cut through the pretense. This was not about wealth, but about accountability, responsibility, and the law. In that moment, the courtroom witnessed entitlement collide with authority, and the message was undeniable. Character matters more than bank accounts, and no one is above the law. Patricia Whitmore's arrogance escalated as she dismissed the $350 fine, claiming she spent more than that on lunch, and insisting it be charged to her credit card, so she could leave immediately. Judge Caprio's expression hardened. "This isn't a restaurant, Miss Whitmore," he said firmly. "This is a court of law, and you are treating it like an inconvenience rather than a serious matter." Patricia scoffed, insisting she was only driving a little fast on an empty road, and mocking the severity of the violation. When Caprio pointed out her 3 prior speeding tickets in the past 2 years, she waved it off, claiming that paying fines solved everything, and that her decades of accident-free driving proved she was an excellent driver. Boasting about running 3 companies, employing over 200 people, and contributing more to the city's tax base than most present would ever earn, she made it clear she believed her wealth placed her above the law. The courtroom gasped at her blatant arrogance, but Caprio's voice remained calm yet stern. "Your financial status is irrelevant to your obligation to follow traffic laws," he said. Undeterred, Patricia argued that the system was rigged against people like her, daring the judge with open contempt. The courtroom fell silent, shocked by her blatant disrespect, as Caprio responded, "Miss Whitmore, your attitude in this courtroom is as concerning as your speeding. Both show a disregard for rules and the safety of others." When she reached for her phone and tried to walk toward the door, Caprio's authority filled the room, halting her in her tracks. "If you take one more step without my permission, you will be held in contempt of court," he warned. Patricia stopped, smirking, questioning what she was supposedly afraid of, mocking his little kingdom, and challenging his authority. Caprio's voice grew powerful, echoing through the courtroom. "You are a danger, not because you fear me, but because you believe rules don't apply to you. You think your wealth exempts you from basic courtesy and legal obligations, and you have no regard for the safety of others." For the first time, Patricia's confidence faltered as she realized that in this courtroom, money and status could not shield her from accountability. "You're a danger because you think your wealth exempts you from common courtesy and legal obligations," Judge Caprio said, his voice firm but calm. "And you're a danger because you have no regard for the safety of others." Patricia Whitmore, still bristling with defiance, took a step toward the door. "This is ridiculous. I'm leaving," she declared. "Bailiff, please ensure Ms. Whitmore remains in this courtroom," Caprio ordered. The bailiff stepped forward, and for the first time, Patricia's confidence faltered. "You can't keep me here," she said. "I absolutely can," he replied. "You're in my courtroom, and you'll stay until this hearing is concluded. Now sit down." Her arrogance wrestled with the sudden realization that she might not have as much control as she thought, and slowly, she returned to her seat. Phone put away. Caprio addressed her directly, breaking down the gravity of her actions. Excessive speeding in a residential area, a fourth ticket in 2 years, repeated disrespect, and a lack of remorse. "Miss Whitmore, your original fine was $350, he continued. "But given your behavior, I'm increasing it to the maximum $500 plus court costs." Shock and disbelief flashed across her face. "You can't do that." "I can and I am," Caprio replied. He added a mandatory driver safety course within 30 days and required proof of completion, along with the $200 contempt of court charge for her repeated disrespect and attempt to leave mid-hearing, bringing her total to $850 plus court costs. Patricia protested, claiming she was being punished for her success and threatening to appeal. "Your wealth is irrelevant to your obligations as a citizen," Caprio said firmly. "I am the chief judge of this municipal court, and you are accountable to the law, like everyone else." For the first time, Patricia stood silently, absorbing the reality that her money and status meant nothing here. The courtroom watched as entitlement collided with authority, and Judge Caprio proved that real power is not loud or aggressive. It is firm, fair, and unwavering, ensuring justice applies equally to all, regardless of status or privilege. Judge Frank Caprio fixed Patricia Whitmore with a steady gaze. "Miss Whitmore, I want you to understand something. This court sees people from every background. Some can barely afford their fines. Others, like you, consider them pocket change, but the law applies equally to everyone." Patricia remained silent, her earlier arrogance deflated. Caprio continued, emphasizing the stakes. "Speeding through residential neighborhoods isn't just breaking a rule. It's risking lives. Children, elderly residents, entire families rely on drivers to obey the law. Your convenience is not more important than their safety," he said. "Your attitude today showed me exactly why you keep getting tickets. You don't think rules apply to you. You think your business success exempts you from basic courtesy and legal obligations." For the first time, Patricia looked genuinely uncomfortable. "I'm going to tell you what I tell everyone who appears before me," Caprio said. "This court cares about your character more than your bank account. Today you showed very poor character." Patricia finally spoke. "Can I just pay the fine and leave?" she asked. "Yes," Caprio replied. "But first you will apologize to this court for your disrespectful behavior." Pride warred with pragmatism as she hesitated, then slowly said, "Your Honor, I apologize for being disrespectful to you and to this court. My behavior was inappropriate." Caprio nodded. Apology accepted. Now, let me be clear. You will pay $850 in fines and costs. You will complete traffic school within 30 days and provide proof to this court. If you receive one more speeding ticket in the next year, I will personally review your case and consider license suspension. And next time you drive through that neighborhood at 55 miles an hour, remember this moment. Your time is not more valuable than other people's lives. Patricia nodded, walking toward the clerk with a changed demeanor. Less arrogant, more sober, beginning to understand that respect is earned through character and behavior, not wealth or status. Her story reminds us that entitlement and arrogance always meet their match in a fair courtroom, that money doesn't buy respect, and that accountability applies to everyone, regardless of their success. Judge Caprio once again demonstrated that real authority doesn't need to be loud or aggressive. It simply needs to be firm, fair, and unwavering. Patricia learned the hard way that courtrooms are the great equalizer, where character matters infinitely more than bank balances, and justice is blind to wealth. For all of us, the question remains, when we achieve success, do we use it to demand special treatment? Or do we remember that basic decency and responsibility are obligations for everyone?